Then you have what is the confrontation with the police. A lot of times we we see the police wrestling, and we're judgmental. We said there is no reason for that. But you don't know what the person has just done. That person could have just killed somebody. That person could have robbed somebody. Resisting the police. That's a number one. And we need to educate some of our young people that when you interact, if he has probable cause, then you're not going anywhere. But if you're polite, courteous, answer what's being asked, if you're the subject of an investigation, most likely you won't get in that position right there. But sometimes we end up in that position and we want to complain on the scene. I'm going to have your job, I'm going to have your badge. You really don't want his job. You wouldn't do his job. Most of us sitting in here wouldn't do the job. I used to think I wouldn't do the job, but being a law enforcement is just like being in clergy. I believe it's a calling, and everybody is not cut out to be. Young man sitting on the front row right here, he's in law enforcement. And I'm sure everything I'm saying, if he hasn't experienced it, he will. But again, I got out a little over 31 years. I've never shot anybody. I know for a fact that if I would have done that, it would have bothered me, because it bothered me when other officers would shoot and kill somebody. It would bother me, you know, and I'm fortunate enough to where I got out without having to do that. Could I do it? Yeah, I could do it, because I wanted to go home. But there was always an avenue where I could get behind cover, and then I could negotiate it. But there was times where I could have done it, but it would have bothered me. But again, I got behind cover, and the person did what I wanted them to do. It would be a good idea that if you're out there, again, I'm talking knowledge is power, interacting, always look at the officers' names. The new officers don't even have badge numbers. I saw one the other day. First thing I did look for a badge number. I guess with technology now, they don't have badge numbers, but the cars, all of them have name tags, and you want to remember this. But even if you can't, this is if you feel like you've been wronged by an officer. Always remember where it happened, round about what time. GPS now, they know who the officers are. They know where they are at all times. So, but always be right in what you do. But again, there's numbers that you can call. And again, they will be investigated. We feel like officers are not above the law. It's just that we have no knowledge of what to do, how to handle certain situations. So therefore, we allow things to go unreported. But if you report it, something will be done. A lot of times, you want to know, well, did he get fired? Well, it's really hard to get an officer fired. I think about certain shootings that went down. My opinion, a lot of shootings were wrong, but that's my opinion. They were investigated by higher authority than me, and the authority said, I find no fault in it. Well, that's another story. It's just when I think about it, but we just have to be careful in what we do. You can carry, a lot of people don't know, you can carry a gun in your car, as long as you're not a convicted felon, have it laying on your seat. Officer ride up and he sees the gun, he said, do you have a permit? You don't need a permit as long as you carried it in plain view. You can walk around with a gun. A lot of people don't know this. Knowledge is power. You can walk around with a gun on your side like wide open. And if you don't believe me, go down 70th Street, right where the Circle K is at Linwood and 70th, across the street, there's a barber shop. This guy walk around with a gun on all day like wide open. I see somebody shaking their head. And you can do that without a permit as long as you're not a convicted felon. As long as you're 21 years old or older. I see these guys looking at me over here. 21 years and older, you're not a convicted felon, you're not intimidating anybody. You don't need a permit. You can walk around with it because you have that right to bear arms. But a lot of people don't know that. They don't know that. They think this guy has privileges that others don't. He does not. He just knows what his rights are in reference to him bearing arms. You can walk around in Shreveport with a gun and a holster as long as you don't cover it up with a coat. Knowledge is power, but we don't know that. I'm gonna leave this with But Too Short has a quote. I'm gonna get Too Short. He's an old rapper, and listen to what he used to rap about. I think you guys don't even probably listen to Too Short, but older guys like Lawrence used to listen to Too Short. But listen to Too Short. He's a rapper, and I said these rappers can make our children smart as smart can be. But Too Short rap went something like this. He said, when you're ignorant, and ignorant sounds like a dirty word, but it's just a state of being uninformed, lack of knowledge. But Too Short said, when you're ignorant, you get treated that way. And when they throw you in jail, that's the police, you have nothing to say. But if you don't listen, it's not my fault. I'll be getting paid, this Too Short, because he's rapping and you're buying his record, and you'll be paying the cost. You'll be paying the cost, court costs, because you fail to be knowledgeable of the situation at hand. Knowledge is power. I'm gonna recap, and y'all been very attentive. If you ever come in contact with police, be polite, stay calm, ask questions in a respectable manner. Keep your hands where the officers can see them. Don't touch the officer. Get as much information as possible in the event you want to file a complaint. And last and foremost, remember this: knowledge is power. Hey, my name is Otis. I thank y'all for listening. I thank y'all for having me.